Hello there. I'd like to take a few minutes today and talk to you about dementia complications and help you to know what to expect as the dementia progresses and what complications that there are out there that you may be faced with. So dementia itself is just a broad term for a range of different complications, cognitive abilities, memory, thinking, social skills, so on. Dementia is very prevalent. There are more people with dementia than I think most people realize. There are 55 million cases of dementia worldwide. 6 million of those are in the United States alone. And there are 10 million new cases every year of dementia. So it's a huge problem worldwide. And along with those 55 million people with dementia, there are caregivers. There's all these caregivers who are taking care of these people, and they may not know what to expect. So I'm going to just share this with you today, give you a little bit more information. So some of the common complications of dementia, these are the ones that most people know. You know, the memory loss, forgetting things, forgetting where they put stuff. And then there's also the cognitive decline. You know, this is part that often caregivers, it takes them a little while to get this part because they think it may just be memory related. But it's where they can't solve problems. They can't make decisions. They have problems understanding anything that's complex. That's the cognitive decline. And then there's also behavior changes. This takes a lot of caregivers by surprise, not realizing that this can happen. But they can become more anxious. They can become aggressive, even irritable. So there are some changes along that way that can come with the dementia. And then there's communication difficulties. So they cannot, they may not be able to make their needs known. They may not be able to understand what you're saying to them. So it goes both ways there. When they can't make their needs known and they can't understand you, that leads to frustration and irritation, which can then lead to the behavior. So communication is one of the bigger complications, especially as the disease progresses. And then also there are the physical medical changes that people have. So their motor function changes. You know, their fingers, they just they can't grab as well. There's just different things that they begin to struggle with. And they also struggle to walk. Their gait changes. And they may not be able to judge where they're going, so they're at a higher fall risk. So it's one of the things that you need to watch and be prepared for as their balance changes. Be prepared for that. Nutrition is another area that changes. They may lose their appetite. They will eat less. They may change. Their taste may change. They may not eat the same thing anymore. But they also become a risk for aspiration, choking easier. So that is one of the things that you need to look for. And then also there is weight loss that goes along with that as they're not eating. You may see some weight loss. Then another complication is sleep disturbances. So a lot of people with dementia begin having sleep problems. They may stay awake all night. They may get their days and nights mixed up. They may stay awake for 3 days at a time. So when they're not sleeping well, they begin to get irritable and you may have a problem there with that. So sleep is very important. Incontinence is the next area that goes along with dementia. It may begin with small accidents, urinary accidents, and then eventually to be an incontinent of both the bowel and the bladder. Sensory changes are normal. That's very common. They may not be able to see as well as they used to. I mean, lots of times they lose their perception, their peripheral vision. They can't see well, and often they can only see right in front of them, and they cannot see down below very well either. So keep that in mind when you're working with them. And then sometimes the vision, the hearing, they may be having some problems there and understanding what's being said and recognizing faces. That's also a problem. Different objects, different sounds. Their brain just isn't working like it used to. So one of the things also that I want to talk about is their mobility issue and all of the changes that you need to be prepared for as this happens. So you need to pay attention to what's going on and the changes, and track those as the disease starts to progress so that you can be prepared for the changes that come. There are also medical complications that are very common in people with dementia, and that's infections is a big one. That could be pneumonia, that could be UTIs, urinary tract infection, and we talked about falls, dehydration, along with the weight loss. Those are common things, and those are things that you need to know what to look for. And I've created a window called the Doctor Guide, and that I will put that down below here so that you can download it, print it, whatever you need to do, but it will give you a good idea of what you should be looking and when to call the doctor. One of the things also is the importance of tracking that I wanted to make sure that you understood, because this is a weak area for a lot of caregivers. They don't realize that they should be tracking. So to get the best care from your doctor, you need to be able to show him what's going on, and the best way to do that is by tracking. It's how the better that you track the information, the better that he can plan the care and provide the best medicine and what's going to work for your loved one. And that also helps, with their quality of life. If they're staying on top of it, you're staying on top of whatever's going on, and the doctor is involved and knows what's going on, it just makes it a lot easier for everybody involved. It is very difficult to be a caregiver, very difficult. And the more tools that you have at your disposal, the more education you have, the easier it is. So as we talked about the tracking, I just wanted to share with you that I had created a caregiver's notebook, and I will put the link to that below also if that's something that you may be interested. And then I also created an app, and that's called the Allslog Caregiver app, and it's one that you just track that information in your phone. So that will be available below also if you're interested. So I encourage you to educate yourself more about dementia, what to expect, and how to provide the appropriate care. And so if you would take a few minutes, subscribe, and keep coming back. I will keep providing more education videos to help make your life a little easier. So I appreciate you taking the time to watch this today, and I wish you good luck on your dementia journey.